So, I want to say that that's just about it for this factory in terms of raw resources. I'm going to be sad seeing this starter factory go. It's been doing good work for quite a long time now. But I'm hoping that this new setup up here is worthwhile instead. What is going to be a bit of an issue is power. You can see, oh no, we're still having the occasional blips with the coal plant. I did take a look at that earlier. I have a suspicion for what's causing it, but have not remedied it yet. They're so infrequent, but then it's just one coal generator that I think is problematic. But that's something I'll go take a closer look at here in a bit. But as you can see, our power budget is getting a bit strained. I'm hoping that we can come up with a at least partial solution for that. So, I mean, for one thing, shutting off this starter factory is certainly going to help. That's going to pull a lot of load off, but probably not nearly as much as we're going to put onto the network when we start up all of this production, because the new setup dwarfs the old one pretty considerably. So I do have a bit of a plan for that we'll look at here in a sec. Well, heck, let's look at it now. My thinking is to try to build one of these power augmenters. So you can see that it requires motors, a bit of computers, and 10 Somers loops, which is a lot. But my impression of these is that, first of all, they give a raw, just like amount of energy production to your grid. I want to say it's like 500 megawatts, which would actually boost our total production up over our max consumption. But they also then provide a multiplicative bonus to your total power output. So basically, they take the total production of your base network, I think including the 500 megawatts that they add to that, and they multiply that by about 10%, I want to say. So let's see, if we've got 2,400, 500 megawatts would take us up to 2,900, and then multiplying that by 10% would add 290. So it should take us close to 3,300 megawatts, just shy of that, like 3,290, something like that. The point is that I'm really hoping that building a single one of those will get us just enough extra out of our coal power setup that we can continue building the Essentials factory and then future factories to sort of get us in a good position automation-wise before I have to think about redoing power setups over again. Probably moving on to turbo fuel, at least I assume. Right, so let's see. For that to happen, I am going to need another 40 SAM fluctuators and 10 computers and like 15 motors. Okay. So let me start gathering up some resources. Let's see, I think it's like 6 reanimated SAM per SAM fluctuator. Oh, let's just grab, yeah, like 6 of those. I'm actually just going to handcraft a bunch of sand fluctuators really quick just to get that out of the way and sort of compress my inventory space a bit. There we go. There we go. Alright, so plenty of those. Now I need more Somers loops, which means I'm going to have to pull them out of my alien remains DNA capsule processing. I figure I probably won't be using that much for a while yet, because I'm so focused on building new factories right now, rather than exploring the map. So I think I won't miss it, and I'll have enough Somers loops to at least drop in a handful, or drop in like one, for example, and just have a single constructor here that's chewing through like production of DNA capsules or production of alien protein for a specific recipe, rather than needing this whole setup to to produce every single possible type of alien protein recipe. Okay. So that should get us into a position where we can actually use one of these alien power amplifiers. And maybe I'll build that up here. I was kind of planning to build it out by the power plant. Let's take a look at how big this is. It is large. Okay, gosh, like not quite on the level of the space elevator, but sort of reminiscent of it. Okay, we also need motors. I think those are still lurking over here in a storage container that I have left a hole for. Yes, this is from our old temporary, in quotes, setup, where I had motor production set up and was feeding it by hand, and that's all the residual output from that. Okay, and then computers. So yes, in the meantime, we have had production going of computers, as well as heavy modular frames for quite a while. So let's just grab like 200 of those, and then probably a similar amount of heavy modular frames. Let's take a look. This production is nearly done. What are you waiting for? Rubber and modular frames. Okay, so let's get at least some modular frames in there. And then I'm hoping I can pull some rubber from the Dimensional Depot. Yeah. Let's just put another 600 in there just to be on the safe side. I don't think it'll take quite that much, but this recipe is very demanding in terms of rubber. There's the last stack I was looking for. So that should allow you to start up. You still have some steel left over. I want to say that I sized steel to give us enough to make all of these versatile frames. I guess we'll find out. Yeah, let's get headed back. Oh, and the other thing I want to look at is the awesome sink, because I believe we have quite a few tickets built up. Yeah, 73. Wow. So let's take those and do some shopping as well. Okay, I need to get the Fix-It Factory card. I feel like I've been talking about it for forever, and I finally have so many tickets that I likely won't really know what to do with them. So yeah, one ticket shy of getting those catwalks. Yeah, alright, that's fine. I can always get those later. But yeah, excited to have all of these different cosmetic options and design options. And finally getting that Fix-It Factory card. I feel like I talked about that the very first time I opened this shop, but didn't get it.
The Fix-It Factory card navigates on Fix-It foundation surfaces with extreme efficiency. Not intended for use on hazardous terrain, mildly hazardous terrain, reasonably safe terrain, or general terrain. Fix-It reserves the right to subtract damage to, or loss off vehicle from your Save the Day completion bonus package. For more information about this bonus package, please visit our information booth in Earth, open on the first Tuesdays and Wednesdays of the month, between 6:25 a.m. and 6:53 a.m.
Perfect. I would expect nothing less. Alright, so there is the Fix-It Factory cart, trademarked, naturally. Let's actually build one of those. And go ahead and equip it. So yeah, it is an equipment. You can actually carry this around, and then you place it on the ground, and it unfolds, just like so. Beautiful. And you hop in, and look at this. Look at my character just hunched over in there, staring out that front windshield. It's fantastic. Oh, yes. Yeah, this thing is actually decently speedy. Oh man, you can see my jetpack clipping out the back there, which is a little silly. But yeah, mostly it is just far, far, far too funny. And you can make vehicle routes for these things, it seems like. I don't even know if they have an inventory. And it doesn't seem like they consume fuel, which is kind of interesting, but I definitely wouldn't advise making a fleet of these for your material transportation needs. It's probably not very efficient, and we can't have that. Okay, so that's me changing the camera. Oh, and that's like a handbrake? Yes. Okay. Yes, the horn. The horn is fantastic. You just reach out and attach that little siren to the top. Beautiful. Well, I'm glad I did get it. How do I guess I could dismantle it to pick it back up? Okay. Alright, well, finally have that available. Now I think I am going to go ahead and look at building that power augmenter. Alright. Let's place that down. Somewhere a little further back. Like, let's rotate you. There. Okay. Oh, wow. Gotta go in here and take a look at this. Alright. And let's try out... Oh, I'm on the wrong hotbar. Let's try out hooking this up to our network. Wait, does this require an input of... it does have... Wait, is that a belt input or output? It's an input. Interesting. I have no idea what that is used for. For now, though, it does certainly look like this is providing us quite a boost. Okay, yeah, so static power, 500 megawatts, 10% boost, which is 290 megawatts. So yeah, that cumulative has brought our production up. Oh, well, that's not including the power boost? Is that correct? At some point, I'll have to do the math on this and figure out whether this production number includes the boost. But I think it does, because it's getting that 90 megawatts from it. I don't think I have any other production in my infrastructure that would produce a number that wasn't in the hundreds of megawatts. So yeah, that must be our grand total there, is around 3,200. That is pretty good though, and yeah, at least pushes our current max consumption up, or pushes our production well above our max consumption, which is very, very good compared to how we were running. Cool. Yeah, clearly there's more to this building, since I have no idea what this belt input is used for. Okay, so yeah, the other thing I wanted to look at was because we actually have computers and heavy modular frames produced, we might be able to just finish out a lot of these requirements. So let's go ahead and look at rail signals. So we've got the computers for that. I'm going to need 400 steel pipe, which I think I can just pull straight from the depot with no trouble. I have scrolled past it, yes. 400 steel pipe and 1,000 copper sheets. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Should be 1,000.
Milestone reached. Train signals placed on train rails can control and improve train behavior. This helps to avoid events where multiple trains attempt to occupy the same physical location. For information related to earlier train events, please refer to your employee non-disclosure agreement.
So many of these Ada quotes are just fantastic. I'm pretty sure that the voice for Ada is actually just like basically a text-to-speech bot as opposed to an actual voice actor. So yeah, sometimes the pronunciation on certain things is a little off, though I suppose that's appropriate for her being a sort of heartless AI. But every once in a while, the pronunciation is pretty perfect. For example, on events of train events. It's just, it's great. Let's go ahead and take a look at these other ones. Okay, so 50 heavy modular frames, we do have that. 1,000 plastic, 1,000 rubber. So the dimensional depot, I'm pretty sure, only holds 600 of each. So let's go ahead and pull up all of that now, so that it can be filling in the meantime. Oh, and then another 400 rubber, 1,500 concrete. And gosh, yeah, I think we'll be able to complete all of these milestones.
Milestone reached. The Blueprint Mark II improves upon the Mark I in every dimension, except for the metaphysical ones. This improvement was made available due to complaints from pioneers about other pioneers not being capable of managing their space efficiently. We listen to pioneers, always.
I need to be looking to get all the resources together for production of modular engines. You still need rubber, so you're already pulling that in. And you need motors and smart plating. So let's see. Yeah, I assume I'll need a lot of rubber. So these final 2 stacks are all that I have in excess. Boy, I hope that's enough to see me through production of other factories, at least until I get motor production automated. I'm not sure whether that'll be at the electronics factory or the exotics factory, but I'm kind of imagining the electronics factory. I feel like it makes the most sense there. Well, we'll see. I don't know. There aren't many buildings, at least, that would require that. Refineries. But I'm hoping that's not... Oh, and manufacturers. Okay. Well, we'll see. We'll see how we do. We do have some left over. Okay, so now I would need an assembler. So that's 5 stacks, so I can put at least 1 stack in. I figure I'll just always input to this in... well, it doesn't matter, does it? I can just dump in any excess that I have, because production is always going to be limited by motors and smart plating, which hopefully I've calculated the resources for exactly. I should also grab a little more liquid biofuel. And let's get back to the freighter. Alright, got a little bit of time before the freighter shows up. I had started to open this up. I do want to look at... Okay, so production is 1 per minute, so 500 minutes, so... Oof. Like, just under 10 hours? Is that correct? Yeah, like, just over 8 hours. Okay, that is going to take a long time, but that's what I said for versatile frames, and while I was working on other stuff, it really flew by, so we'll at least see how far along that gets. And hey, you can see not only is the freighter re-entering, but our first modular engine has gone into the space elevator, so that is good. Actually starting to make progress on that. Alright, I think we have everything needed for this.
Milestone reached. Pipelines and pipeline pumps can now be upgraded to Mark II. They are like Mark I, but better. Pipes seem to be objects of fascination to humans. In fact, there are recorded instances of humans doing nothing but thinking about pipes for hours.
Oh yeah, working with pipes can be pretty daunting. So yeah, I can certainly imagine sitting there for hours doing nothing but pondering how to work with pipes. Okay. Well, I think that we're very, very close to actually turning this on. I need to belt in the inputs to the factory, which should have pretty well drained out by now. All right, well, I will look at doing that and getting power routed, because there's still a lot of machines, essentially all machines, literally all machines, do not have any power routed to them yet. So I'll make sure to do that. Probably set up a priority power switch for this thing so that if it does start drawing too much power, hopefully this factory will shut down and allow other things to keep proceeding while I figure it out. But yeah, I will take a look at doing all that and hopefully see you all very soon. Alright, here we are back again. So I think, and I certainly hope, that I have power hooked up to everything. And as you can see in the distance there, I have been working to do a little bit of cosmetic upgrading of this Essentials factory. So yeah, we've got this hooked up, leading in there. These 3 nodes are now hooked up. Should be overclocked as well. Limestone coming in from over there. Those should have power run. Are you stuck? Oh, I see. I depowered the station for this, so it's waiting to do a drop-off. But yeah, I moved some power lines around and hooked this up here, running into the factory, though it isn't powered yet. Alright, set up. Okay, so yeah, I did put a ceiling on this floor, and hopefully have a bunch of lights all strung up in here. This section here, I actually need to destroy some of my existing dimensional depots down there in order to move them up here, because I think I'll need 10 of them in total. And I just did not have the Mercer spheres available to build 10 in addition to whatever is down in the starter factory still. But I think this control panel here should turn on the factory. You can see that our max theoretical consumption is just over a, gigawatt? But we should now have the available production to cover that. I guess we'll see. I feel like this line tends to jump around when you actually turn on machines, and it takes overclocking into account. Let's give it a shot. Okay, did not immediately blow a fuse. Yeah, that total is up pretty high. I see lots of powered machines, which is good. Let's go ahead and get the lights turned on. Alright. Yeah, that is much brighter. So we should have materials starting to come in now. Did I ever hook up copper out here? It looks like I did. Good. I see some materials flowing through over there. I see lights on miners over there, but oh, maybe I never belted these up. Okay. So hopefully that's all accounted for. Yeah, I see the merger up there. Limestone flowing in from over there. Iron ore coming in here. And smelters have started up. So yeah, of course, this is a manifold design for these smelters, so there's going to be lots of stop-starting. But I'm hoping I did all my math correctly. The start of plate production going. Then this is going over to screws. Yes. Now, one thing we have not done is routing these. Like, each of these is supposed to go up, carrying some resource. And I have not set that up. So let's do this maybe one by one. So this is iron plates. And that is a Mark IV lift. Feeling that kind of angle, and we should see iron plates fill that. Yes. Yeah, I'm not sure if the layout of these is gonna make perfect sense, but doesn't really have to. Okay, so let's see. Plates. I should have set that up with a smart splitter underneath because it's going to feed into other production. So I shouldn't route this to the dimensional depot. Excuse me. I shouldn't route this rather to the awesome sink. That shouldn't be necessary. Let's take you pretty far over. So I should be getting iron plates uploaded once again, which is nice. Now, just to repeat this process. Okay. So I think that should work. Center any right overflow for truck station. Center any right overflow for the awesome sink. Yeah, assuming I've designed this properly, this should prevent a total backup of any of those resources. Iron rods, reinforced iron plates, and modular frames should always be producing at whatever maximum rate the factory can support. With excess, like this, going into the awesome sink. And yeah, once we get truck stations set up, things like modular frames will be hopefully going less to the awesome sink and more towards other factories that we eventually build. Okay, alright, so I think that's that whole section set up. And now I think I'll do a repeat of this for this other side. Alright, so here I am back again. Just finished hooking up the last 4 resources. We've got our automated miner production just continuing down this way for the first time. Look at all those happy little robots just waiting to be used. And yeah, I think I have this set up as I want it, so that all resources should be getting distributed properly. So yeah, if that's going into the depot uploader, which must be just because the depot uploader has some storage space of its own. There isn't actually any room for concrete in the stockpile. Yeah, there we go. But still more to be stacked in here. And yeah, automated miners getting uploaded for the first time. Pop worksheets getting uploaded as well. And yeah, then everything in excess should be getting output to this awesome sink. So let's take a tour around and get a look at things. So it looks like this manifold setup is still filling, as you can see. This is the very first line that I think we set up together, where iron production over here is getting routed out and up and split. Oh yeah, split multiple ways, but the bulk of it is going out here, and then into there, and then around the top here, and then through this huge manifold, finally ending up over here. So yeah, it looks like it is just starting to back up, hopefully. Again, assuming I did my math correctly, it should be evenly feeding everything. It's just going to take some time to fill up the last couple there. We should be getting real close. Yeah, these machines are running. The bottom one is probably not at 100% efficiency, but very, very close. That's a really good sign. It does seem like it's already backing up into the machine itself. Everything is running. I see lots of green lights out there. And yeah, assuming I set up my splitters correctly, my smart splitters, we shouldn't have anything that gets backed up. You can see we're getting some slowdowns over here. On steel pipe, I wasn't expecting that. I guess this does demand a lot of iron. 53% efficiency. So let's see, you take 32 per minute. Oh, can I view you? And you take 12 per minute. What are they being fed off of? Oh, they're being fed off of this line? Okay. So let's see, we've got iron coming through here, through this splitter, which is feeding both of those machines, and then continuing on over to screw production by the looks of it, which is hopefully in the process of backing up. Oh, the reason why this one is backed up already is because I believe that constructor up above is underclocked very significantly. So if it's stealing, an even share of the output, but that one is running at like less than half speed, then it should be backing up like that. Hopefully, this eventually backs up all the way back up that line we were tracing. Oh, it is. It is already. That makes me suspicious because this has not backed up yet. Okay, let's take a look up top at that real quick. Luckily, it seems like, even if there are some minor tweaks to get this thing running properly, it seems like things are looking good. All machines are at least producing some resources. Okay, yeah, you are... Oh no, is this concrete? This is concrete production. Interesting. I'll look at that later. This is what I was looking for. So you're doing fine, but you are underclocked. I guess not to half, but by a fair bit. How are you running? Oh, you are running at 100% efficiency, so maybe we're actually fine here. Because if this has a surplus of resources at all, we're probably doing pretty good. Okay, well, I think things are going pretty well. Let's go ahead and actually seal off this little production column as I had originally planned. All right. Well, I will come in and double check on some other things just to make sure everything's running smoothly. But I think this is looking real good for now. A little bit of stop-starting here, but I'm not sure if that's something to worry about. And yeah, other things like wire and screws, for example, I do expect to be fully backed up. And iron plates as well, so that's not unexpected. So yeah, I think this is looking real good. Got a new source of production for all these resources. Got this hooked up to a priority power switch, so I guess I have always interpreted priority group 1 as being the most important, like the last one to shut off, and 5 as being the, less important, like one of the earlier ones to shut off. Isn't like this is like priority number 1, but I could also imagine it as they just shut down in order 1, 2, 3, 4. So I guess we'll see. How that works if we ever do actually exceed our power network and blow a fuse. Some bottlenecking of wire production. But yeah, I'm hopeful that a lot of this is just kind of the factory sort of evening out as certain resources were being overproduced at the start and are now backing up at the awesome sink, but hopefully that won't be the case long term. But yeah, regardless, really glad to have this thing actually operating. Syncing resources, uploading to the dimensional depots. And yeah, I think the next step would either be to set up truck stations for this, or to just fully move on to the next factory. Something I'll have to think about. Oh, and hopefully we've been getting space elevator parts produced in the meantime. Let me go check on that before I close out this session. Oh no. Oh no, I cut power to this at some point. That's what happened. Okay, glad I checked. Let's just... Oh, not that. Let's just run this line over. So I think this is external power coming in from the coal plant. Let's pop you there. Then here, and over to here. Let's get rid of some of these old power lines that I don't think are doing any good at present. Right. And instead, let's hook you up over there so that that production starts up again at least. All right. Well, yeah, I'm quite proud of this factory. I think it's the most complex design I've ever attempted. Definitely could have been done cleaner, but overall, I'd say that's pretty good, or at least a pretty good start. Got some ideas for how I might structure future ones just a little differently. But overall, I like this quite a bit. All right. Well, thank you for joining me, and looking forward to seeing you all next time as we start thinking about making some new production facilities. Probably right out there. That's going to be the end of today's episode. Thank you all for joining me, and I hope to see you in the next one.